Is now joining.
Welcome to the September 18th meeting of the Swampscott Zoning Board of Appeals. Can we continue petition 23-6 and 23-5 before do we have signed continuances for those? Or?
We do, yep.
Do?
I have 2 of them on record.
So I can do that as one motion.
Yep.
I'm going to move to continue petition 2306 and 2305 to next meeting, which is October
24th.
24th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we're going to move on to petition 2312, which is brought to us by CVS Pharmacy, requesting a use special permit for conversion of 4,500 square feet of existing retail space into a health and wellness area.
Heather, I'm sorry, that there should be an administrative extension on that.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
2107, do you have that?
What's that?
2107, just they're looking for an extension.
Oh, okay.
It was previously granted last September, September 20th,
Oh, yes.
2022, and they're looking to extend it.
To extend it, yep. Thank you.
I have Zach here from Pittman and Wardley Architects if you have any questions, but otherwise.
Okay, sorry about that. We're gonna start with petition 2107, which is an extension for a special permit that was previously granted September 20th, 22. I apologize, I did not review that one. So, did
That's
any,
okay.
did
I
other,
have sorry?
I'm not sure if other members of the board did. I didn't have that on my agenda and I wasn't,
Well, I mean, it's an extension. And
so it seems,
there's some reason why it wouldn't be, if there's anyone here.
yeah. Okay, we good?
I'm getting all this background noise. I don't know. The only mic on is Peg Producer.
I will try muting it.
Thank you. Okay, so I guess the question is, so someone is here for Connell, there, yeah.
Yeah, I have Zach from Pittman and Wardley. If Zach, you just want to chime in and say anything, we handle extensions administratively, right?
All the time, yep, yeah. Just normally I know what this.
Zach, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just, we're just asking for the extension because, last time we went through this, it was sort of mid-COVID, and now that we have everyone's attention back on it, we just, we're kind of ready to wrap it up and get going, so.
Okay, is there anybody here who has any concerns about this petition, has any questions about this extension, I should say? Seeing none. I'm going to move to approve the extension for petition 2107. How long is that extension usually for?
A year, right?
For 1 year?
That's what we did last time.
Okay, so we're going to extend that out 1 year. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Surprised just had as the 5 regular members.
No,
Oh, yes,
Well,
sorry.
you can take me off that, because it's across
Okay.
the street from the mall.
So yeah, constitute the board
Oh, except for Andy.
as, so then I'll put Mark, because you're
What-
not,
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
all right. All right, so we're going to go to petition 2312, which is the CBS, which is where I started. So, Mr. DRUCAS.
Chris, sorry,
continue.
can I have you move to that, or grab that, I'll grab it.
I just missed that.
Yes,
I
you can
did
have
that
that.
wrong. That was an extension of the pharmacy, that was still the CVS.
No, that was an extension on a different project. This is the
Chris
pharmacy.
Drucas, attorney for CVS Health.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Offices at 81 Washington Street in Salem.
CVS, since we're-
Yes.
For the CVS Pharmacy and retail store at 419 Paradise Road.
I'll send it to you.
With me tonight is Ryan Keogh, Vice President of, and if you guys would identify yourselves. Vice President for CVS Health. I think Mary Simbor is on, she might be on TV. And she's a Senior Medical Director for CVS Health. Jeff Kern, over there, who's a Stock Architects, and Nick Veloso, I don't know if Nick's here. Kevin Nelson, Senior Project Manager. And Kevin's on, and Pat Danforth from VHS with me tonight, and I don't know if there's anybody else that's on. I know that those were the individuals I was told was gonna be here with us tonight to help with the presentation. I believe you're well aware of this CVS location. It's been over 20 years at this location. I'm sure all of us have frequented it at one time or another. There have clearly been changes in the industry over the years. They have approximately just under 11,000 square feet of space that's shown on the filing. They're going to turn about $3,000 to $4,000 worth of that space into this use, this proposed use, for a health and wellness area, and they're gonna maintain the pharmacy and retail space, but the retail space is going to shrink. This area, there will be the health and wellness center will come out of the retail space. There'll be no changes to the exterior of the building. Therefore, there's no need for a site plan special permit. And there is signage, I think, coming, but I think that's being worked out through the building department. And if there's a problem with that, you'll be hearing about it later, I guess. This is a B2 district, as you know. The accessory use requires the grant of a use special permit under, in reference to 2.2.3.0 subsection C7, and compliance under 2.2.5.0 non-residential accessory uses. You'll have to make the necessary findings under 5.3.2.0 subsections 1 through 6. I'd just like to verify that the statutory requirements leading to publication and notice, I believe, were duly complied with, and that with all of that being said by me, I'm going to turn this over to Jeff, who will walk you through the plans as to exactly what they have in mind for this location.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Jeff Kern from Stock Architects. We're the architect for CVS on this project, and I'd just like to take this opportunity to just kind of go over what CVS is proposing to do here. The sheet you see on your screen is not in our set. We added that for a little clarity for everybody here tonight. The purple area is the proposed health and wellness area, and the yellow area is what will remain from the existing store, the majority of it being retail area with the pharmacy and stockroom in the back. I'd like to walk everybody through the clinic, if you would like to do that. So when you first walk in the CVS door, there won't be a separate entrance into this. You'll come in through CVS. And I'll give Marissa a second to pull this up. And when you come in on your left, there'll be an entrance into the clinic. Once into the clinic, there's a lobby waiting area and reception. And then, Marissa, is it possible to move the, yeah, there you go. And then you begin with exam rooms. There's a patient of size exam room on the left-hand side, and then an urgent care room immediately below that in your plan view. Across the hall is the x-ray and phlebotomy room, followed by an exam room. And then there's a toilet, again, on the left-hand side. Once you wrap around, there's a staff hub right there on the bottom, another restroom, storage closet, a staff meeting area, and then on the top of that area, 3 more exam rooms. That's the extent of the health and wellness area. Marissa, could you put the rendering up? And we just included this rendering. So on the very far left of that would be the entrance from the CVS, and then that's the entrance into the clinic. Just finally, the clinic is expected to have 4 full-time employees on a regular basis, including, I believe, including a doctor, correct? Including a doctor, a medical assistant, an X-ray tech, and 1 support staff.
Right.
The clinic would be open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and there's a primary care function of this, which would be open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Did you say the hours are gonna be the same?
The hours for the walk-in clinic is 9 to 7, Monday through Friday. I think that might slightly differ from the store hours. The store's probably open a little long.
Pharmacy and store hours will remain the same, the clinic will have slightly different operating hours than the pharmacy, as an example.
But there's never a point at which the clinic would be open, but the rest of CVS would be closed.
Correct.
Correct. Would be the other way, actually, right? Yeah.
Chris, isn't this B3? I'm looking at the zoning map.
That's what I thought too, but when I pulled up the.
B3.
When I pulled up this from the town website, it said it was B2. I think it's
B3.
So wouldn't that mean that you'd only need, the only reason you'd be here is because medical's allowed on the B3, you just have to change because of last year's in B3? Well, I would have said changing retail space into non-first floor retail space, you'd need a permit, special permit. But, just saying,
We're here.
but it's B3.
I'm not sure if I have the updated changes, though.
Would it not be what's in online?
The only change is, there hasn't been a change.
Business use, medical or professional office.
But
Medium.
this is not, these are not medical professional offices. This meets more the definition of outpatient clinic,
Clinic.
which is
So where's,
special permit.
What line number is that?
C7.
Outpatient medical center or clinic? Special permit in B2 and B3.
there it is. Right, special permit. B3. Yep, outpatient, that's what it sounds like to me. Okay.
Gotta open that door. I guess that one's open.
And then wouldn't you say you need a clinic use? Wouldn't you need, under that change revised zoning last year, you could put a clinic to be in the second, to be in the 10th.
I'd have to look at that. I don't know if they have that section.
So you have to say that you have to, because it's
Is there anyone here who has questions or who wanted to speak on this petition, either in the room or online?
Ask Marissa about the changes, we're gonna hear what Ken has to say, he might point us to it.
Mr. Schutzer? Could you go to the microphone, please?
The record, Attorney Ken Schutzer. I'm not here on behalf of Family Doctors. Is this another urgent care facility? Is that what it is?
It's an urgent care clinic that can also deliver primary care as well.
I see. Okay. I wasn't quite sure of exactly what they did. So this will be very similar to the urgent care across the street, because there's an urgent care facility there, or is it different?
So there's an AFC urgent care clinic in Swampscott today. Information that we have shows, it's serving a population of roughly 26,000 people in the area for that clinic. Ideally, 15,000, ideal. So from a CVS perspective, as we looked at how we could best support the community, we felt strongly that there was demand there, including, broader primary care shortage as well. And would also add, we'd like to partner with primary care doctors in the area, so if someone, sees us for an urgent care need, that we could refer them back to their primary care physician and make sure that all the medical records, et cetera, are transferred over, appropriately.
The answer is yes. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Trying to figure out if this is B3 or B4, or,
I think it's B3, I'm looking at the map,
It's
yeah,
B3.
it's B3, yeah.
and I was just wondering what the changes that we had in Vinnon Square from last year after the bank, some of the bank issues.
Mhm.
Is there any impact on this request for relief?
If the use, if the request for a use special permit affects the relief, or was this a by right use that then changed to special permit, or?
I'm just trying to understand how that if that impacts this request for relief at all, any of those changes.
I think it would, in the sense that if we feel that the market for this service is saturated,
Oh,
we could say such, and that's where I see how that impacts.
But you
Okay.
need an
I don't-
approval, you need an approval for that part of the zoning bylaw, plus the clinic special permit.
so we need to just make a finding for that we think that there's adequate use and need for it?
That's what I would think.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense to me.
Is the employee count going to change at all from the existing CVS operation?
No, today we have a front store and pharmacy, typical CVS, so those employees will all remain, employed, and then we'll be adding 4 additional, jobs to support the clinic itself.
Okay, so there's just 4 additional staff
Correct,
members?
and that could increase over time if the clinic continues to grow, but 4 to start.
I didn't know if there's any impact on parking, but it doesn't sound like there is.
No, I mean, that pharmacy is a busy one, as you know. At scale, we anticipate potentially 40 visits per day, compared to, the pharmacy's filling hundreds of prescriptions a day, so any impact to parking or traffic, should be nominal. And we have a traffic parking study as well that we can provide. As a matter of fact, we did receive.
Could you just pass the microphone, please? Thank you so much.
We did receive a traffic study that just came in on the 15th, so I have that here, if you'd like. I mean,
Sure.
Yes, please.
The impact is pretty much negative.
Thank you.
Pat, see you. If there are any questions you might have.
Thank you. So it's actually a little bit, this study says 3,105 square feet. I thought I heard it was over 4,000.
I also heard 4,000, but 3,100 is a more accurate number of the square footage for the clinic.
Okay.
Can you tell us about some other CVSs that have already done this project that are in our area?
So this specific arrangement that we have as a CVS clinic in this branding will be one of our first. So we're planning for 4 in total in Massachusetts. But as you know, or may know, CVS also operates Minute Clinic with 1,000 locations nationally. So we have experience in the area. We want to pursue this specific arrangement due to a partnership that we have with Carbon Health. So Carbon is a provider organization that has 130 locations nationally across 14 states. They have a really great sort of digital customer experience as a whole, as well as a really great clinic experience. And so they'll be our operating partner in this specific experience within the store. So it is our first specific foray with this arrangement itself, but again, like very experienced with kind of the construction and management, et cetera, of launching a clinic nationally and also here within the state, if that's helpful.
So the primary difference between this and the Minute Clinic is for vaccinations and...
Yeah, mainly cough, cold, upper respiratory, although Minute Clinic does a little bit more chronic condition support today. This will be, much more comprehensive. X-ray, phlebotomy will be available. So, more convenient from a patient standpoint where you don't have to go to multiple locations to get both. And then the option to use that provider as a primary care physician if you want to do that as well. Those are the main differences. And sorry, lastly, Carbon has 4 existing locations in Massachusetts today, including in Framingham, where I live, but there are plans for 7 in total in the state. Today.
Including this one?
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions?
I have a little one.
Yeah.
No.
So they're proposing that 425 less people are going to be coming in because there's less square footage, right?
Correct, yeah. There will be less retail.
Right.
I assume you're eliminating sections of...
Yeah,
You
we'll
eliminating or you just
consolidate
pushing?
kind of general merchandise, right, and make sure that health and wellness products that people.
So you're eliminating products, or are you just
Yeah,
kinda
we'll
consolidating?
consolidate existing products and then, arrange the, products in a way that makes the most sense and make sure people can get what they need. And then no impact to the pharmacy, I think that was said before, but just so folks are aware.
The pharmacy hours won't change
Correct.
and...
Yep.
So, I know you were debating over there what relief is needed. Where did you come up?
Well, I think you had it right. I think it's B3. I think they need a special permit for the accessory use of the clinic and a finding that there's need, and I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean, we do have one other urgent care.
Do we have 2? What's the other one halfway down?
Yeah, the other one is a primary care. I guess they sometimes offer urgent care
Yeah.
but they're not primarily
that?
urgent care. The family doctors, they offer some.
Oh, Paradise Road?
Yeah.
They offer
That's
some-
an actual, yeah,
Yeah,
that's more
that's a
of
little
a
bit
doctor's office.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm sure if it didn't work out for them, they would convert it back to a pharmacy, so I think it's worth them seeing if the need's there.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Fine with me, still gonna have their
Alright.
pharmacy and,
Yeah, I mean, fine with me as well. Does anybody want, well, let's see, let's constitute the board. Andy's out, so we'll do Tony, Mark, Brad, me, and Paula.
Okay.
Does anybody want to make a motion on this one? Knowing that Mr. DRUCAS will probably
Yep, he will.
write it for you.
I could do it if you like.
No, come on, Mark. You do too many of these. I'll do it. I'll make a motion. Jeez. To allow petition, where do I see it? 23-12 for a use special permit pursuant to 2.2.0.0 for an accessory use under section 2.2.5.0.
As well as a finding.
Oh, yeah, as well
under-
as.
And I don't know the.
Yeah,
I don't know the exact language, but I think that there's adequate need.
yeah, a finding that
demonstrated.
there's been adequate need for this use in this area. Okay. That sounds good. All right.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. What?
There's another vacancy for me. Easy come, easy go.
All right. Moving on to petition 2313 for 434 Humphrey Street, brought by KACY Jauron.
Is now exiting.
Okay. Requesting a signed special permit for installation of a new awning with business name and logo. I know this was originally advertised as a use special permit as well, but that portion of the request has been withdrawn. Is KACY here?
KACY is here. She is joining us through Teams. There she is.
Hi, KACY.
Hi.
If you could just tell us a little bit about your petition.
Yeah, I think, well, what we said is just for the awning, like the special improvement.
All right, and I think we've all, oh, there we go, we have a picture, we've all had a chance to look at this. I think this was a pretty straightforward one, but I'm going to, does the board have any questions about this one? Has everyone had a chance to think about this? All right, is there anybody here who has a question or would like to speak about this awning? Yes, please come to the microphone and state your name and address.
I'm Mary DiCillo. I think there's a bylaw that says that it has to be black and gold, that the lettering has to be gold.
Are we technically, is this building in the Humphrey Overlay District? I thought this was just outside of it.
No, this is in the Humphrey
This
Street
is in the
Overlay
Humphrey Overlay
District. I think that black and gold is for signage only, not awning. But this did go through a design review with the planning board, and the board did also approve the option for KACY to use a navy blue fabric. It doesn't actually have to be black as well, and they were fine with the white lettering, so.
Okay.
They didn't say that it had to be gold.
Fine with me.
I think.
Thank you.
KACY, I'm sorry, you're coming in kind of sporadic.
Oh, sorry. What we reviewed from bylaws was actually the awning has to be black.
It does have to be black?
That was the bylaw y'all reviewed, but then the planning board, right, which I was just informed that it was okay.
Well, the awning is black, correct? I mean, that's what we have to review. It's black and white, correct?
Yeah, first it just said the planning board, I believe, but I think it's right. that was only 13 if we chose.
Is there a way to turn the volume down a little bit?
Yeah. I don't know, is there a way to turn the volume down a little bit? Would that?
Turn it down?
Thank
Yeah,
you.
he was able to do it
Okay, thank you.
much better.
Yeah, it's just your voice is coming in kind of, we can only hear bits and pieces of what you're saying. I'm not sure if it's your connectivity or.
My understanding is that you presented the black and white, and then when you went to the planning board, they said if you wanted to switch it to blue, you could. Okay, so, are we approving, what are we approving? Are we approving black or are we approving blue?
Yeah.
I think you could, I think you could approve an either or, right? Or could you approve with the option, or is that within your authority? For reference, the awning at the Richdale Convenience Store, 2 doors down, is navy blue as well.
Yeah.
It's shown as green in Google Maps, but they have since changed it to navy blue.
What does the petitioner want?
Navy blue.
Navy blue, okay. I think that's fine.
If the planning
The
board.
planning board approved it.
Yeah, if the design review, went through that, right?
Yeah.
Is it right next to the other navy? Like,
There's a space.
okay, but I mean, navy is kind of a general, we don't want to have one type of navy right next to another type of navy. I mean, can we set as a condition that it be identical to the navy next to it?
Or as close there too, maybe, or?
Something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I mean,
Which is
I'm
probably
sure that.
faded.
It's faded, I'm sure that.
Right.
If that's the case, I'd rather go black if you were gonna set that condition.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I'm guessing that the vendor offers a navy, and that's what you're gonna get. Do you know what I mean? That there's not
But you're not gonna be able to
multiple.
match it anyway, because it's gonna have been.
They're all gonna
the other
fade
one's gonna
differently,
fade.
yeah.
Fades, yeah.
I'm okay with navy, as long as the planning board approved. And they're not touching, I mean, they don't look like they're the same building or anything. All right, does anybody else have any questions about this petition? All right, I'm gonna constitute the board as, let's see, Dan, Susan, Paula, me, and Brad. Just gonna go down this way instead. Would
I'll make the
anybody-
motion.
All right, Paula will make a motion.
Okay, I move to approve petition 2313 for a signed special permit for the installation of a new awning with business name and logo navy blue background to be complete according to the design submitted. Everyone okay with that?
Yep. Anyone? Good job. Second?
Any?
Second.
Second,
Okay,
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Excellent. All right, so you have your relief. Thank you.
Thank you, I hope you guys come to the store too.
We will.
Bye.
Thanks, Casey.
All right. Next, we have petition 2314 by Lewis Colton requesting a dimensional special permit for a first and second floor addition to a non-conforming structure on a non-conforming lot at 27 Curry Circle. And is Mr. Colton here? Yep. Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, if you could walk us through this project.
What's that?
Could you please walk us through this project?
Certainly. Thank you for meeting with us, and I give you all thanks for serving the community as you do. I'm familiar with the effort is, so I'm glad you're all doing it. This is a project at 27 Curry Circle. The building, it's an existing single-family resident. We're requesting a special permit, and you hopefully have a drawing in front of you. We're increasing the building with an addition on the side. Now, what I want to be able to point out here, and we had a little bit of confusion about this, as you'll note, it's a triangular site. And the building, if you've got the photographs, the side of the building that faces Curry Street obviously looks as though it's the side of the building. However, the front of the building is actually that because that's where the street is. The building has been designed as originally, and which we are moving forward and replicating and picking up on the design concepts, which is the side, which is actually the side lot, which is facing towards the long area of the site. So we're needing to do this. It's an extended family. The family includes parents, children, and grandparents, and there is a real need to expand the size of the building. It needed another bedroom. We were very frugal and careful in creating this addition. We wanted to maintain the requirements of being under 800 square feet as an addition. And what you also note that is in pre-existing conditions, several portions of the building are already over the setback. We've done our best to keep, not to impact that, and that's pretty much what we're doing. So we are adding a much-needed bedroom, and that bedroom includes, because of the size of the building and because of the amount of people who were in here, the kitchen was a very small kitchen, and so that was expanded, and that's on the first floor. And so expanding, the need to enlarge that kitchen also imposed on the dining room, and once again, all of that created the need to move forward for that addition on the first floor. So what we've done is basically taken the first floor and second floor, utilized them for the needs that are necessary, and provided the building as we're showing it. One thing I'd like to point out too, as we get into any further discussions, is that we were very concerned that this building fits the neighborhood, that the neighbors are in agreement with what we're doing. We do have, if we can pass that to you, we have a petition that was signed by the members of the block, of the people, the neighbors. Quite a few of them have signed it. And what the petition reads in short is that they are a resident of the neighborhood, and the family and the owners of and they are very familiar with the family and owners of 27 Curry Street. Noted I have been made aware of the family's desire to improve the residence with renovations and the addition, and they have no objection to the alteration proposed. The changes proposed will improve the present residence and be a benefit to our neighborhood. So that's in short what the neighbor's comment is. So I'm open to any questions and whatever.
So the only increasing nonconformity is the rear yard setback?
I'm sorry?
The only increased nonconformity is the rear yard setback, is that right?
Rear yard, this would be, yes.
And it's 2 feet. Right now, it's 17 and a half.
Oh, correct.
Otherwise, all of the other current dimensions
are
the same.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's some conflicts in the plan.
Yeah, I know.
One says it's 16.6, the other one says it's 15.6. The 16.6 is okay, but the 15.6 isn't, because you can only have
Well, that's that whole Balata case.
20%.
But it's actually the 13.8, isn't it? Because that's the.
But that deck's
overhang.
open, so that
It's up
doesn't count.
overhang.
No, it does have an overhang? Oh, well then, yeah, then it's definitely.
Does it?
This may or may not be helpful, I'm not sure if it's in your packet,
Well, the
but
13.8 is showing is to the deck.
No, but the
Right,
deck
but that
has an
second floor
overhang.
overhang.
See, the second floor overhangs on both outside the deck.
Yeah,
So it's, right there, it's 13.6.
where it's covered.
Right. Well, it's a covered deck, so the deck can't be there, and it's the second floor, which is on top of the
The
deck.
covered deck can't be there in the,
Can't be there as a covered deck.
not within that setback.
Correct. But don't we need, well, can't we only go 20% of 20
Well, that's
feet?
how we treated it forever, but, you know, what Robin had told us about that Bellotta case is, so I have my notes here, that if you have a non-conforming, single or two-family, which we do, it's non-conforming because of area and rear yard setback. But the first question we ask is the work increasing the non-conforming nature of any non-conformity, which it is. So if the answer was no, it would be that no relief was necessary, just a finding. If yes, i.e. there is an increase in the non-conforming nature of an existing non-conformity, then the board may grant a Section 6 special permit upon a determination that the change is not substantially more detrimental than the existing nonconformity to the neighborhood. So,
Yeah, it's, and can we consider that in the back of this, the rear of this, is the VFW, right? Is that what's
yes,
on the
yeah,
other
way,
side?
way
there?
back.
The VFW and then the
So-
dispensary.
so, you know, in the past, we would treat this just on that dimensional special permit
It'd be a no.
relief,
It would
which
be a no.
was inconsistent with,
Right, but that would be a no based on, we would be at a no because. you can
it would
only
have been a
go back to
no
16.
under the dimensional special permit, how we used to treat it.
Right,
But looking at it, how we've treated it since
okay.
we've discovered the Bellotta case, has been that we have discretion to decide whether or not it's substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood than the current nonconformity, which is, you know, adding to the nonconformity if the rear yard setback, additional building, the covered deck, and, you know, there's the town of Swampscott VFW use next to it.
There's the shape of the lot being.
Shape of the
The
lot.
shape,
screwball.
right,
Very
you could argue
The
that there
back
should
of-
be a variance relief that you could get here.
Is there anyone here in opposition in the neighborhood?
Yeah, is anybody here like to speak on this petition, either online or in this room?
Right, this is variance 101 for shape. Right.
Yeah.
Well, we can give it to 'em.
I did just get one email from Irene Pepperberg, who lives at 30 Curry Circle, and says she was in full support, has no objections.
Okay, yeah, and I think with the abutter being the VFW and the dispensary,
Right, it's not a
and
residential
with this
use.
really being a very unique situation where the rear of the house is retreating the side
Yeah,
of the house as the rear setback because of the way the house sits on the lot. It's very unique.
yeah, I can tell you I would be in favor of granting a special permit under Bellotta for this one, that it's not substantially more detrimental.
I agree. All right, so we're gonna constitute the board as, we'll go, Paula to, wait, Paula to Tony, no. Paula to Andy. For this one. Would anybody like to make a motion?
I think it's probably gonna be me.
Is it gonna be you because it's the Belalta case?
Yeah, 'cause I'm the
Everyone,
Belalta.
and everyone feels like you
I
understand
like
that.
signs.
So I'll make a motion on petition 2314 to first make a finding that the proposed work would increase the non-conforming nature of any of the existing rear setback or rear setback non-conformity. It would increase it, and that the increase in the non-conforming nature is not substantially more detrimental than the existing nonconformity to the neighborhood, and grant the special permit to permit the relief as shown on the plans that are dated 8/21/23. Do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, you have your relief. Thank you so much.
Do you want to have any of this paperwork included in your package?
Yeah, that would be great if you could give that to
Yeah.
Marissa. She can scan it.
Thank you very much, appreciate that.
Luck with your project.
Thank you.
That's it, right? That brings us back to last week.
Both of these, right?
Yeah.
All right. That brings us to the continued petition from last week, which is petition 2311, brought by the Swampscott Affordable Trust, requesting a dimensional special permit, a special permit or finding for non-conforming use of structure, and if necessary, a variance, to determine if a historically significant home structure located at 35 Pittman Road will be relocated to the existing vacant lot at 7 Hillside. And
Heather, I'm just thinking first, maybe you might consider, I know Dan watched the tape, making sure whoever
Oh, yeah.
wasn't present.
I'm out.
okay, yep.
Okay, I'll see you with Randy.
All right, see ya.
And Dan, you watched the video, and did you sign the affidavit?
I did, yeah.
You did?
Submitted that already to Marissa.
Okay.
And that's where everybody else was there, right, last week?
Yep.
Okay.
So, all right. I just kind of wanted to briefly address last meeting's chaos. I'm relatively new to being the chair, but I've been on the board for a while, and I have never seen, I don't think, so much interrupting, so much crosstalk, so much muttering under the breath. I just left that meeting so frustrated. So I'm hoping that the setup of this room can lead to more professional behavior from the petitioner or the people representing the petitioner. And I hope that we can move forward like that. All right, so I just want to briefly recap where we left. I think Mark walked us through a very thorough analysis that concluded that the variance for area from 1955 was still in effect and had not expired, but that the property would require a variance for frontage. And then we continued that hearing until this week so that the board had a chance to look over the case law that was presented by Mr. Vitale. I just wanted to ask the board, does anybody have any questions about that case law? Did everybody have a chance to look at it? Okay. I think I had a chance to look at it, I also had a chance to talk to town council about it. So that being said, there's nothing, there's really what we need to do is I think the board needs to discuss the case law, discuss how it applies. So I would like to make a motion to close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So
What about, so you're gonna, I wonder if you should constitute,
I think I will constitute the board now before we have the
Yeah.
discussion. I think that's only fair.
right?
So I'm going
I'm
to.
not offended if there's an alternate. I think that you should first give preference to the regular members on one of these, is my thought.
The regular members, I would say, sure, okay, we'll do the regular members. So Susan, you're new, so it might be a good thing.
Right, so Andy's he's a full member, so he's out, so then you'd pick one more, right? Right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, so one of the 3 alternates, because I'm an alternate.
Okay, so then I'll have you be on the board. That'd be great. Okay. So, Mark and I had a chance to talk to town council about this, which was really helpful. I think she kind of agreed with us on my interpretation of the case law and on, which was very helpful. So I guess the question, we can go through the variance. The two questions we have, is there a hardship, and is that hardship caused by soil, shape, or topography? And I think based on the case law presented, the usability or lack of usability, reasonable usability of the lot can be considered a hardship. But the frontage is not caused by soil, shape, or topography. And to kind of reinforce that, our bylaw, which we read last week, but it says very clearly in 5.5.2.1 that a lot lacking sufficient frontage is not eligible for a variance based solely on the fact that it has insufficient frontage. And I think the case law that was provided sort of repeats that, that same message, that yes, a hardship is present when a landowner cannot reasonably make use of the property, but lack of frontage does not constitute shape, and therefore does not raise it to the level to grant a variance. Does anybody else, looking through that, have?
I did some research as well and found that the overwhelming law that I saw supported just what you said. There's cases that weren't cited, as well as the ones that were cited in the proposed findings of fact that we were provided. The Sagronis versus Wareham says insufficient, this is an SJC case from 1993, insufficient frontage does not constitute a substantial hardship caused by circumstances relating to the soil conditions, shape, or topography of the land. Unless one of those circumstances causes the hardship, we cannot grant a variance, which is consistent with our bylaw and Section 10 of the Zoning Act. There's Raya versus North Reading, which is an appeals court case, but cert was denied, or FAR was denied. It said, accordingly, applying the well-recognized rule of this Commonwealth that the division of a conforming tract of land into one or two non-conforming lots does not in and of itself amount to substantial hardship, especially affecting the non-conforming parcel. It says the division of that property into two non-conforming lots did not create a substantial hardship, especially affecting the vacant lot, even though the latter could not be built upon, as it could have remained part of a conforming lot. So the notion that simply because a lot is going to remain vacant, that in and of itself requires a variance, I do not believe is supported by Massachusetts law. There's Warren versus Amherst, which specifically says if the legislature intended the mere fact of a deficiency in the required frontage of a lot to be sufficient, without more, to satisfy this particular requirement for a variance, it is difficult to believe that they would not have said so in this statute. They did not do so, and we believe that they did not intend that result. And again, I could go on, but I'm in agreement with Heather that under these circumstances, a variance is not warranted. There's been no evidence, no showing of any impact or any of the circumstances related to soil conditions, shape, or topography that would warrant a variance.
So my take on it is a little bit different. I think that it does not qualify for a variance for the first criteria in the statute, that there's no evidence of any circumstance related to soil conditions, shape, or topography. Or the second requirement, especially affecting the land, but not affecting generally the zoning district. So that's why I can't get to a variance, a variance there. And I read, all the cases, and that question as to whether or not the inability to use the land is a substantial hardship or not. The cases that seem to apply that across the board seem to be cases that predate the passage of Section 10, 48 Section 10. But all the other cases after that, there's always something about something unique about the property. Like that pork chop that's on Paulding, I think it was Paulding, or one of those cases that had not Paulding, Paulding had a very unique property with only 15 feet of frontage. I think it was a 40-foot strip of land. But I really thought, though, that the 1955 variance, was valid. And it just, it's just, doesn't really sit with me that because the only thing that changed was that I mean, it's still good on area, I guess. The area increased also from was it 6,000 to 10,000? Is that what it was? The area went from 6,000 square feet to 10,000 square feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, so but we're still good on area, I guess, because there was a
I
variance?
think the variance is effective on area.
Yeah, so.
But they need a frontage variance.
So I don't know that that it still doesn't, trump the frontage. I'm not convinced by that, because obviously it was an intent to make that lot buildable by what the town did. And that case out of Quincy is very close to being on point. That Quincy case, that's been Hogan against Hayes. It's very close there, except that it didn't look like there was any, it looked like Quincy still had the same area and the same dimensional requirements. It didn't change. But what struck me about that case, it was very close on the facts to this case. And so it just seemed to me, I don't know, that I'm not convinced that the change in the frontage nullifies the effect of that 1955 variance. So but I'm not, I'm not convinced, and in fact, I was convinced until the end of the, after you guys put town council on the spot. And, and she mentioned, that was the highlight of the meeting for me. But when she alluded to that, about the, well, what about the, that 1955 variance went just to area and not to frontage, so now you need another variance.
Yeah, and I think Mark walked us through that with
Yeah,
the
and that
section
kind
10.
of killed it all of a sudden, yeah, but I'm not convinced of that. I'm not convinced that town council's correct on that, but I don't know.
I think I saw a case, Dan, that dealt.
Especially with the other lot, had the benefit of that, the lot that already had the house on it. Because there was a house, and then there was the house on one lot, the garage on the other lot. And so the other, that other lot always had the benefit of the variance.
Any pre-existing always has the benefit.
Right, right. I mean, I know that's a difference, this is vacant land, I
Vacant
get that.
land is treated differently.
I think that Hogan v. Hayes case supports the fact that the area variance not lapsing.
Right.
But the difference here I see is there was a change in the frontage that even though they exercised their variance, they didn't get relief, they didn't get variance relief because they didn't need it in 1955. So I don't think Hogan goes that far to protect.
They would have got it though if they needed it though, that's, I guess, they would have got it.
If they only had 40 feet of frontage, they got that variance at the time, and 80 feet was allowed, they would be fine. If they got variance relief in 1955 for frontage. This how I see it. Could you make the argument? I think you can make the argument, but it sounds like there's two no votes.
I believe I saw a case, and again, I think that it's an important distinction, that where a similar thing happened, and in fact, the bylaw had changed, the frontage requirements changed, and it required a new variance, that it wasn't grandfathered in. That change made it non-conforming, but it wasn't at that point pre-existing. So it had to, get a variance. So that's my take on, and my interpretation of it. And I that would be the only opportunity for this, because again, I agree out of the gates that there's nothing about the soil, shape, topography.
So that's what kills it, yeah. And it's too bad because, I think it's a good liked what they were trying to do, what they're trying to do here, putting that house over there.
The board and
I know, do we want to, I know we closed the
Well, it
public
sounds
hearing,
like,
but
it
I
sounds like
would-
there's two no's, which,
I know that they had discussed previously that if they believed that it was going that way, that they would like the opportunity to withdraw. The petitioner's not here, but her representative is, should we offer, is that appropriate to
That's-
offer?
that's been the practice of this board for a long time. It's, I guess, as the chair, you're.
Yeah, so, I mean, rather than take a vote, we'd like to give the opportunity to withdraw if that's what you prefer.
Mr. Demento said that's
I
appropriate.
am, sorry, I am here.
Oh, you are here, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, so, I guess either you or, attorney, your attorney could answer that for us if you'd like the opportunity to withdraw.
Right, as we discussed last week, I think that's the prudent thing to do.
So I'm gonna make a motion to withdraw petition, get my numbers all right.
2311.
Petition 2311, make a motion to withdraw petition 2311 without prejudice. Do I have a second?
Yes, at the petitioner's request, and we'll write a
At the
decision on
petitioner,
that.
yep.
Every paragraph. I would second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, that is,
Do we have some meeting minutes? as well?
I didn't get the meeting minutes. Did you send them?
Yeah,
Okay.
this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not read them.
Okay.
Did everybody else?
We can
get it?
defer them.
I read them.
If enough people read them, it's
I
fine.
think I printed them out.
Okay.
Here somewhere.
Does enough people read them?
Yeah, I read them.
All right,
Glanced
so,
at them there.
what's that?
I glanced at them, they looked
Okay,
good to me.
so I'm gonna make a motion to approve the past. Would someone like to make a motion to approve the agenda? I actually can't make a motion because I did not read them. I'm
Sure.
sorry, the
Yeah,
minutes.
I'll make a motion. What are the dates?
We don't have the dates on the agenda. Ask Melissa.
Marissa, what are the two dates for the,
Last week, September 12th and August 22nd.
August 22nd?
Yes.
So I'll make a motion that the minutes that have been submitted for the meetings held on August 22nd, 2023, and September 12th,
September 12th, yes, last Tuesday.
2023, be accepted.
All right,
second that?
all in favor?
Aye.
Can we have a motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
You can make that.
Oh, you make it, Paula.
Make a motion to adjourn.
To adjourn.
Second that?
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent.
Thank you.